In this video, I will show you how to import and upload your data to calculate either your Scope 1, 2, or 3 emissions in the Avarni. First, log into Avarni. On the left-hand menu, select Import Data, and then click Import Data again on this screen. You'll be asked to select your calculation type, whether it's Scope 1, 2, or 3. Depending on the scope that you select, the GHG category will change. Select Scope 3 and then choose Purchase Goods and Services. Select the unit type. Click Next. Here you'll be asked to upload your data. On the left-hand side, you can see the required and the optional columns. You do not have to rename your headers, as in the next few steps, you will be asked to match the headers in your data against what we have in Avarni. You can also download the data template here on the bottom left. Select the header row, click Next. Here you'll be asked to map the columns that you have in your data spreadsheet and what we have in Avarni. On the left-hand side are the columns that you have in your data spreadsheet. In the middle is the example that you have against each. And then over here on the right, you have the template columns that we have in Avarni. For example, with the first one, you have vendor in your spreadsheet. You can click on here, skim through and select the applicable fields or columns. You can also select a custom field, and you can also delete it as well if you'd like. Click on Next. Here you'll be asked to review and finalize any errors. In this example, we don't have any errors, but if I remove amount, because amount is a required field, you'll see an error will pop up. You can either edit the cell, delete the invalid values, you can fill all the empty cells with one single value, remap the column, or delete the rows with errors. You cannot import this file if you have any errors. On this screen, you're also able to edit, just like an Excel spreadsheet, so you don't have to close and then re-upload the file. You can also find and replace any fields, and then you can also export as well, either to Excel, to CSV, or only export the error rows. Once we have 0 rows with issues, we can then click on Import. In this step, you'll be asked to select your emission factor set. Avarni has already automatically chosen the emission factor set based on the data that you have in your spreadsheet and what we have in Avarni, with the highest percentage of matches between years and countries, and then the most unique factor names. If you would like to change the emission factor set, you can do so by clicking on the drop-down list and selecting the applicable emission factor. You can also preview the factor names and also access the emission factor source link as well. Click Next. Once you have selected your emission factor source, you are now asked to review and complete the import process. Here we can see that you've selected Scope 3, category was Purchase Goods and Services, the unit type was currency, there are 4 rows that were uploaded, and the emission factor set or source selected was IE Lab. Now you can click on Complete Import to finish your import process.